Trusting in those assurances, I entered into a remarriage with a younger spouse, hopeful of finding happiness for both myself and my daughter. However, he didn't keep his promises and didn't treat me and my daughter well. One day, my daughter was rushed to the emergency room after an accident. I hurriedly contacted my husband. "Come to the hospital quickly," I pleaded desperately, but my husband refused. "It's the middle of my mom's birthday party. I don't care about someone else's kid." With those words, my husband hung up the phone. But this incident changed his fate. The next day, he lost everything. My name is Isabella, and I'm 35 years old. I'm a hard-working office worker. My family consists of my husband, Carmen, who is 5 years younger, and my 7-year-old daughter Anna. I have been married to Jake for almost 2 years now. Some may have noticed the discrepancy between the years of marriage and my daughter's age. Actually, Jake and I remarried. There is no blood relation between Anna and Jake. Anna was a child from my previous husband. My ex-husband was a kind person who cherished both me and Anna dearly. However, he suddenly passed away in a traffic accident. After my ex-husband's death, I couldn't recover from the shock for a while. If Anna hadn't been there, I might have impulsively followed after my ex-husband. My parents and my older brother's family supported me while I was feeling overwhelmed. Finally, when I had managed to pull myself together, I met someone through work-related connections, and he confessed his feelings to me. "Isabella, I really like you. Please consider dating me with marriage in mind," he said. I was quite surprised by his confession. Jake is a bright and sociable person who can talk freely without hesitation. I liked him too, but I never thought he would confess to me. At first, I rejected his confession. However, Jake, who has a somewhat unreliable aspect, tickles my maternal instincts and makes me feel like I can't leave him alone. However, he's 5 years younger than me, and I have a daughter, so he wasn't a romantic prospect. But Jake didn't give up. I'm the type who gets along well with kids. I'm confident that I will be a good father to Anna. "I will definitely make you and Anna happy," Jake insisted. His desperate demeanor made my heart waver. I had been worried for some time that Anna might need a new father, so as an experiment, I introduced Jake to my then 5-year-old daughter, and Jake happily played tag and gave piggyback rides, which delighted her immensely. Anna also quickly became fond of Jake. Maybe this person can heal the loneliness of losing my husband, I thought. With that thought in mind, I decided to remarry Jake. However, there were also concerns. It was about the relationship between Jake and his mother. He apparently lost his father at a young age and was raised by a single mother. That's why he comforted Anna, who felt down about losing her father, by saying, "I understand how you feel." Previously, Jake had awkwardly expressed this to me: "I'm truly grateful to my mom who raised me single-handedly. I feel like I have to cherish her." If you only hear that much, you'd probably consider it a heartwarming tale of filial devotion. However, I felt uneasy about those words. After all, when Jake is in front of his mother, he behaves like a spoiled child. He sticks to her side, always smiling. His mother also dotes on him. On the other hand, he is quite cold towards me and Anna. It seems that my mother-in-law is dissatisfied with the fact that I am older and that Anna is a stepchild. I overheard my mother-in-law murmuring during the pre-wedding introductions, "Jake could have found a better partner," and it made me feel disheartened. I was concerned about my mother-in-law, but it's not like I'm living with her or anything. I thought Jake would prioritize our family after we got married. That's what I believed. However, my expectations were completely betrayed after marriage. Jake revealed his lazy nature. Despite both of us working, he didn't lift a finger and left everything to me. While he would help if I asked, he'd grumble things like, "I'm tired," or "Is a house worth the wife's duty?" Even though Anna is still young, she voluntarily helps with household chores. Moreover, he hardly spends time with Anna. After our marriage, he just stays at home playing games on weekends. Or worse, he watches boat racing on his computer and gambles while doing so. Even when Anna asks him to play, he responds coldly with, "I'm busy right now," or "Go play with mom." Anna, who used to be fond of Jake, gradually began to distance herself from him. Furthermore, he has a habit of reckless spending and can't manage his money wisely. He quickly spends his salary on things like gaming, gambling, or drinking. The money left for household expenses is minimal. On the other hand, I've been diligently saving money for my daughter's future. Since Jake isn't reliable, I'm the only one who can leave money for my daughter. Additionally, Jake is extremely picky about food, like a child. He refuses to eat any vegetables, only consuming fish and meat. Even if I finely chop vegetables and incorporate them into dishes, he simply pushes them away. With Anna going through her growth spurt and considering the family's nutrition, I can't just serve Jake's favorite meat all the time. When we argue about this, Jake immediately storms off to his parents' house. It's unbelievable that he still sulks over such trivial matters like a child. I was utterly astounded by his immature behavior. One day, a few hours after Jake headed to his parents' house, I received a call from my mother-in-law. Instead of standing up for me, she ended up defending Jake. It seems that Jake values me, his mother, more than his wife. He even prefers my cooking, she said. For someone like Jake, who is in his prime working years, meat and fish are more important than vegetables. I don't eat vegetables either. Even though you're a wife, you can't even manage such basic considerations, she continued. Jake's picky eating habits seem to stem from his mother. Maybe his mother, out of her love for her son, has always allowed Jake to eat whatever he wants. There's a limit to being an overindulgent parent. Since our marriage, I have been fed up with Jake doing whatever he pleased. The idea of divorce crossed my mind, but considering remarriage, I found it difficult to take that step. Looking back now, I should have kicked him out right away. But as time passed, something terrible happened when Anna turned 7. Anna loves music, so I have her attend a nearby piano class. It seems like she has a lot of friends and always seem to be having fun. That day, however, something terrible happened. Because I had errands the day before and was quite busy, it seemed like we might be late for piano class. I had been tasked with urgent work by my boss, so I was frantically working at home. I usually walk to the class, but that wouldn't be fast enough. I don't have a car, but Jake does. However, he refuses to let me drive his car, citing that I'd be in trouble if the car got damaged. So, I asked Jake to drive her daughter to the class. However, he refused my request with a reluctant expression, "No, I don't want to. It's a hassle. What's in it for me to take Anna to her piano class? Just because you don't go to one class doesn't mean they're going to make you quit right away. Just come up with some excuse and let her take a break." That's not it. It's not just about giving her a ride in the car. If it's too much trouble, then please let me borrow the car. I'll return it right away. There's no way I'm lending it. I'd be in trouble if my car, bought with my money, gets damaged. Besides, today's my mom's birthday. I'm busy because I'm going to join her now. In that case, wouldn't it be fine to take Anna to her piano class in the car first? There's no time limit for celebrating your mother's birthday. I want to go to my parents' house quickly and be the first to celebrate my mom's birthday. I didn't buy that car to chauffeur someone else's kid. The way he referred to Anna as someone else's kid really got to me. Even though he married me saying he would become Anna's father, when it's inconvenient for him, he treats Anna like a stranger. Jake and I have been going back and forth for a while. Anna, noticing the tension escalating between us, seemed to sense the impending argument and intervened to stop us from turning it into a full-blown marital dispute. Mom, it's okay. I'll run there, so please don't fight with Dad. Seeing Anna's troubled expression, I was taken aback. We shouldn't argue in front of the children. I felt bad for her upbringing, and most of all, I felt sorry for Anna's concern for us. Jake just snorted and quickly left, saying, "Well." I received a call from the police. I hurriedly answered the phone, only to hear that there had been a traffic accident. Rushing to the scene, I arrived just as my daughter was being loaded into the ambulance. Checking on Anna, I found her pale-faced and barely conscious. "Anna, stay strong. Don't leave Mama behind. Don't leave." I held my daughter's hand and desperately called out to her, but there was no response from her. My ex-husband had also been in a car accident, now my daughter too. It's like a nightmare. I got into the ambulance and headed to the nearby hospital with the paramedics. I tried contacting Jake, but there was no reply. Unable to wait, I called my parents, my brother, and his wife, and they all rushed to the hospital immediately. According to the doctor, my daughter had hit her head and was unconscious, and the situation was critical. The image of my late ex-husband who died in a car accident flashed through my mind. I felt like I was going to collapse right then and there. If my brother hadn't supported me, finally, I managed to get through to Jake on the phone. "Hey, what do you think you're doing? You keep calling over and over again, it's annoying." My husband yelled at me for that, but I didn't have time to care about it. "Please hurry and come to the hospital. Anna was in a car accident. We're at a hospital near our house," I pleaded desperately with Jake. But what came out of his mouth were unbelievably cruel words. "Huh? Are you calling me for such a stupid reason? Don't mess with me. What's with that attitude? Anna is in a dangerous situation right now. So what? I'm in the middle of my mom's birthday party right now. I'm about to give her presents. I don't care about other people's kids. Figure it out on your own over there." Without waiting for my response, Jake hung up the phone. My husband's abusive language left me dumbfounded. I always thought he was a jerk, but to completely dismiss Anna's life as unimportant, that guy. I'll never forgive him. I'll show him hell. As I burned with anger like this, my brother grabbed my shoulder tightly. Suddenly, I noticed that both my brother and my parents were in a furious frenzy. It's the first time I've seen them like this. "Isabella, does he always treat you like this?" Upon hearing my brother's words, I widened my eyes. Apparently, I was in a hurry and had the phone on speaker. My husband's merciless words were heard by everyone present. My parents trembled with anger. At this point, there's no more hiding. I confessed the truth to my parents and my brother's family. They were furious, insisting, "You should divorce." Of course, that's my intention as well. How can someone utter such cruel words when Anna is in such a terrible situation? Fortunately, thanks to intensive treatment, Anna's life was saved. Her condition stabilized, and a few hours later, she was able to speak, managing to keep Anna safe. I felt relieved, and my parents and my brother's family also breathed a sigh of relief. The next day, Jake seemed to be in high spirits, even humming a tune. But then Jake's smile froze. Understandably, considering my parents and my brother's family were all gathered at our house, and my sister-in-law was taking care of Anna at the hospital. Amidst the tense atmosphere, I took the lead and spoke up. "Welcome back. Did you enjoy your mom's birthday party?" I asked. "Huh? Oh well, it was okay, I guess," replied Jake, who usually holds himself confidently but seemed to lack courage in this situation. His gaze wandered around uncomfortably. Ignoring his demeanor, I brought up the matter directly. "We're getting a divorce. Sign these divorce papers quickly. Let's leave the details like asset distribution to the lawyers, okay?" Jake looked pale at my words. My brother, with a stern tone, continued speaking. Jake, I'm deeply disappointed in you. I trusted you to take care of my little sister. Looks like you're quite neglectful towards Isabella and Anna. My brother's remark further darkened Jake's expression. Actually, my brother is Jake's boss at the company he works for. While my brother had shown favoritism towards Jake because he's my husband, that's no longer an option. If my brother were to abandon him, Jake's future career prospects would be bleak. Moreover, the house we live in belongs to my parents. My parents gave it to me as a gift to celebrate my remarriage. Aside from my daughter Anna and myself, Jake, being an outsider regarding the residence, has no rights. If we were to divorce, he'd have to leave the house. Realizing he was in a bad situation, Jake broke out in a cold sweat and started trembling. Suddenly, he knelt down and begged for my forgiveness. Isabella, I'm sorry. I was taking advantage of your kindness. I don't want a divorce. From now on, I'll change my ways and cherish you and Anna. So please, spare me from divorce, Jake pleaded desperately. Watching him desperately plead like that didn't affect me at all. Rather, I just contemptuously wished he wouldn't make such a spectacle of himself. I've been trying my best to maintain a good relationship with you all this time, but you've been behaving however you like without caring about that. You didn't even treat Anna well, and on top of everything, despite knowing about Anna's accident, you prioritized your mother's birthday party. Even I, as patient as I am, have reached my limit. I will never forgive you for trying to abandon my daughter when her life was in danger, even though she's your stepdaughter. Your mother, who allowed such behavior, is equally guilty, I said to him. What value does your kneeling have? You have neglected me and Anna, done as you pleased, and lied when you said you would take care of us before we got married. I can't trust you even if you apologize now. Please, don't say that. I'm really sorry for what I did. All you're worried about is your own position, isn't it? Anyway, I can't continue being your spouse anymore. We don't need a father who doesn't care about his own daughter, who just had an accident. Never again involve yourself with me and Anna. With that, Jake burst into tears, begging for forgiveness. My brother, parents, and I watched him with cold eyes. After that, Jake and I divorced. Since there was no infidelity, I didn't seek alimony. Of course, I kicked Jake out of the house. Word of the divorce spread at work, and Jake was rumored to be a mama's boy, looked at with suspicion by everyone. Unable to endure such a situation, Jake finally resigned. He returned to his parents' house, but his unhealthy habits caught up with him, and he and his mother fell ill. They're managing to get by on his mother's savings, but apparently, it's almost depleted. He's also working multiple part-time jobs, but due to his illness, they don't last long. Jake, feeling anxious about the future, begged me for reconciliation, but I firmly rejected it. Anna and I are now living a calmer life, thanks to the strong encouragement from my parents and my brother and sister-in-law. Anna, who has been discharged from the hospital, is also smiling more. I will continue to work hard to keep my daughter smiling.